The time is 5:35 p.m. It is Tuesday, June the 20th, and I'm going to call this TIRZ number 4 board meeting to order. Would the city secretary please call the roll?
Mitchell.
Here.
Tobias.
Present.
Heiser.
Here.
Flores Kale. Here. Zuniga. Bradshaw. Here. Parsley.
Here.
All right, 6 members present. We have a quorum. Next up, citizen comments period. Is there anyone who wishes to come forward and speak? Seeing none, I'm going to close citizen comments period. At the request of our attorneys, I'm going to ask that we go into executive session. So on agenda item number 1, so pursuant to Chapter 551 Texas Government Code, TIRZ number 4 board reserves the right to convene into executive session from time to time. As deemed necessary during this meeting, TIRZ number 4 board may convene into executive session pursuant to any lawful exception contained in Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, including any or all of the following topics. Agenda item number 1, a resolution of the Board of Directors, Reinvestment Zone number 4, City of Kyle, Texas, adopting the final project and financing plan for the zone, approving and authorizing the chairman to execute a TIRZ agreement in connection with the development of the zone, and recommending approval of the final plan and TIRZ agreement to the City Council of the City of Kyle, Texas.
Mayor, if you'll note that we're going in under the attorney-client privilege.
I'd like to note that on this item, we're going in under attorney-client privilege. Thank you. Meeting back to order. The time is 5:58 p.m. There was no action taken during executive session. There'll be no action taken now. I'm going to re-bring up agenda item number 1, a resolution of the Board of Directors, Reinvestment Zone number 4, City of Kyle, Texas, adopting the final project and financing plan for the zone, approving and authorizing the chairman to execute a TIRZ agreement in connection with the development of the zone, and recommending approval of the final plan and TIRZ agreement to the City Council of the City of Kyle, Texas. Ms. Leibe.
Good afternoon, Chair, board members. My name is Stephanie Leibe, Norton Fulbright. We serve as bond counsel to the city. What you have before you this afternoon is a resolution which would both approve a TIRZ project and finance plan and a reimbursement agreement, primarily related to the Limestone Creek development. If you all recall, a preliminary project and finance plan was presented to both board and council in March of this year and was adopted. Project and finance plan lays out proposed projects, or I should say the authorized projects that could be undertaken within the zone. And then it also outlines the waterfall of funds or priority through which those tax increment funds can and will be used. So if you recall, the TIRZ was initially created with what has been called the residential component and a commercial component. And so tax increments created within the zone have also been classified to retain those classifications. So as it relates to residential tax increments are used first to offset pit assessments for the Limestone Creek pit. Second, they are being used to reimburse developer for construction costs and land acquisition costs associated with the construction of Goforth Road. Next, they would be available to the developer to reimburse any residential project costs that remain unreimbursed through either the pit or the TIRZ. And then they become available for any city-initiated projects within the TIRZ should the city decide to undertake some. As it relates to the commercial increments at this time are being restricted to any city-initiated projects for roadway or drainage construction, which benefit the TIRZ. So I know that's a very high-level overview. If you all have any specific questions about the plan or the reimbursement agreement, I'm happy to answer those.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, motion by the mayor, seconded by Councilmember Zuniga. Is there discussion on the motion? Councilmember Flores Kale.
Thank you. To my knowledge, the drainage issue has not been fixed yet, and I've pressed for this for the developer and the landowner to sit and have a conversation and hopefully find some kind of solution. And until that can be done, I cannot support this TIRZ.
All right, anyone else? Roll call vote. I'm sorry. Councilmember Parsley.
I believe that part of what we discussed is that this approval will help with the drainage issues for them to be addressed and funded, correct?
So I think as it relates to the drainage issue, right? It's a multi-pronged issue that has been around with this development. And what's been presented by the developer and by the engineers to city and to city staff is that this drainage issue is an issue irrespective of the TIRZ financing.
Okay.
And Meritage has represented that the TIRZ financing actually, it doesn't completely solve, but it helps alleviate a large portion of the drainage issue, but it doesn't solve it in its entirety. And so the discussions that are going on between the various home builders and the current landowner and the water district in the area pertain to those components of the drainage that cannot be solved through the TIRZ.
So I just want to make sure that we say, so the approval of the financial part for this TIRZ does not have to do with the drainage, current drainage issues that are happening, correct?
It does not.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
Okay.
Any other comments, questions? Roll call vote.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Bradshaw. Aye. Tobias. Zuniga,
Aye.
Parsley,
Aye.
Heiser,
Yes.
Flores Kale.
Nay.
All right, motion carries 6-1. Motion to adjourn? All right, we are adjourned.